Founder Chairman and Board Member of CYIENT, to kindly address the gathering.
Late Sri J. Bhaskar Rao garu is now what it is. Let me also use this forum to share with you how delighted I am to share my heartiest congratulations to Sri Tridandi Sriman Narayana Chinnajir Swami Garu for being conferred with country for his invaluable countless individuals through your proud teachings and your selfless service to revive for tolerance of time. Swamiji, your efforts helped revive the culture and heritage. So on behalf of everybody here, everybody outside here, let's join our hands in thanking Swamiji for all his efforts. Having come here for the event, I can't resist myself but for talking about what I spent my 72 years of life. While we celebrate the past today for 25 years of existence of this institution, what is equally important is look at what future holds for all of us. I've got 3 headlines for all of you to take back. The first one is acceleration, the second one is amplification, and the third one is democratization. That's what we will see in coming. What do I mean by the acceleration? Technology has got pervasive. Steam engine or the scientific revolution or the agricultural revolution or the industrial revolution, and followed by PC and internet, all of them brought about enormous amount of change. They brought about more amount of comfort to mankind. They got more amount of economic upliftment. All of them were true, but far different from what we saw in the past. And I talked about acceleration. There are 4 pillars for this acceleration. One, I keep calling it as the computers and storage. Computers and storage will become faster, cheaper, and smaller. The second one is our ability to communicate. Some technologies, people said 4G, 5G, and even day before yesterday, the Prime Minister announced about a lab being set up for 6G technologies. It is no longer human beings are communicating with each other, but it's also machines are communicating with each other. Our current estimate is there are 5 billion people on the communication system all around the world, whereas there are 15 more billion things which also communicate along with us. As I speak to you right now, I can also see my machine working all the time, telling people that continues to accelerate. To see, I sense to hear, I sense to smell, and I sense to taste. Trust me, these 5 senses as mankind can do at this point of time is look at up of me. And the doctor sees the X-ray against a light and says all is good. But if there's a lesion on the lung, the naked eye doesn't detect at that point of time. Whereas the computer does detection ahead of a doctor by a year. So therefore, these 5 devices, 5 senses we are talking about will make a lot of difference. And we are in a position to sense them. But equally important is when they sense, they're putting trillions of data into the system. And this data, you start applying algorithms on it, and that becomes artificial intelligence. So therefore, these 3 things I talked about, 4 things that I talked about, computers, communication, sensors, and algorithms will make the difference in terms of the acceleration. What do I mean by amplification thereafter? Is every facet of our life has technology now invading to it. Look at a medical device. You don't need to actually go to a doctor to find out what your blood sugar levels are. Non-invasive. You can certainly do your BP checking at home itself. It doesn't require it. Actually, you can get a bedside health monitoring system which can do an alarm only when the parameters go beyond the level. I'm sure I know there are a lot of doctors around here. This is not threatening to them anyway. This is only helping the doctors to perform better. We are seeing acceleration happening with technology, even in fields like agriculture. There's an application that I work on called precision agriculture. You have pest in one corner of a large farm of, say, even 2 acres. What does the poor farmer do? He goes and sprays the pesticide all around the farm. Whereas with drone support now, I can delimit an area of just 1 square feet for going and spraying this pesticide precisely where the pest is. So therefore, the second one is that there will be enormous amount of amplification that will happen. Amplification because there is so much amount of technological changes which are driven by the 4 forces I talked about. So you will also see more amount of sustainability initiatives, more amount of initiatives in terms of healthcare, agriculture, logistics, education. His staff has one with him. So to that extent, we'll probably, exceptions always be there with Swamiji. But other way around, we have taken a poll at 100% of audience of mine will have a smartphone. But more interestingly, several of you will have more than 1 phone with you. That's the ability for us to access to technology. That's the democratization. You look at the cost of actually using your phones. It's the cheapest in the world today in India. You can't get any better than that. So a combination of these 3 things, the amplification, the GPT overtake every one of us making speeches. You tell the machine, tell me about the 3 things that he likes to talk about on acceleration, amplification, and democratization. It will make the speech in 10 seconds and deliver it for you. You cannot define how many words you want. We were talking about it last night in a conference call. Somebody said for an event, say, do it in 400 words. It took 12 seconds. They said, now crop it down to 200 words. It took 9 seconds. So that is how technology will overtake us. So, but don't get overly threatened about technology. Be a part of this change. We can't stop this change, I assure you. So, but the change brings about for the next generation who are all in the back seats at this point of time, enormous amount of opportunity. So what I will conclude is, embrace the change, get open to innovation. Future is full of endless possibilities. Curiosity of mind, our ability to change our attitudes will definitely make sure we climb great altitude. Thank you and God bless you.